Here in this satsanga, we have started Mundakopanishad, and we have already seen the first two mantras. And we have just started the third mantra. Here, before entering into the exposition of Vedanta, the tradition or the lineage of teaching is here. And that shows the greatness of that lineage. It begins with Brahma, who is the creator and protector of the whole universe. And from him, this tradition has started. And he taught this great knowledge to his eldest son, Atharva. And he in turn transferred this knowledge to Angi. Then Angi to his next generation, Bharadwaja. And Bharadwaja taught this to Angiras. And now the teacher is Angiras. Disciple in each generation is the teacher of the next generation. And this great teacher, Angiras, he was approached by Śaunako. And who was Śaunako? Śaunako was a great grihastha, a great householder. He was a businessman. And with all politeness and observing all formalities, he asked Angiras, "O Bhagavan, what is that, knowing which everything else will be known?" This is the question. So we are discussing that third mantra. So we can remember from the very beginning. Om Brahma Devanam Prathama Sambhabhuva Vishwasya Karta Bhuvanasya Gopta Sa Brahma Vidyam Sarva Vidya Pratishtham Atharvaya Jyeshtha Putraya Praha Atharvaneyam Pravadeta Brahma Atharvatam Puro Vachangire Brahma Vidyam Sabharadwajaya Satyavahaya Praha Bharadwajo Angirase Paravaram. Brahma Devanam Prathama Sambhabhuva. Brahma manifested as the first amongst Devas. Vishwasya Karta Bhuvanasya Gopta, the doer and the protector of this universe. Saha, he, Brahmavidyam sarvavidya pradishtham atharvaya jyeshtaputraya praha. He imparted Brahmavidya, which is the very base of all branches of knowledge, all the very, very foundational knowledge, to his eldest son, Atharva. And Atharvaneyam prapadeda Brahma, Atharva tam purovāca Brahmavidya. That Brahmavidya, which was imparted to Atharva by Brahma, he in turn taught that to Angi. Saha Bharadwajaya Satyavahaya. This Angi taught to Bharadwaja, Bharadwaja's son, and his name was Satyavaha. And this Satyavaha, Angirase Paravara, this knowledge was transferred to Angiras by Bharadwaja. And therefore, this Brahmavidya is Paravara. Paravara means that which is transferred from Paras to Avaras. It can either mean from teachers to disciples, because Paras are teachers and Avara disciples. Or we can say from the earlier generation to the next generation. So from generation to generation, this knowledge was transferred. And now Śaunaka is the teacher. And the third mantra is śaunako havai mahāśālo'ṅgirasaṁ vidhivad upasannaḥ papraccha kasmin bhagavo vijñāte sarvam idaṁ vijñātam bhavati. Iti. Śaunako havai mahāśālah. Śaunakaha. Śaunaka is the name. And was it his name, or it can be his name, Śaunaka. Or we can take it as a name which indicates the greatness of his family or his father. Because Śaunaka means Shunakasya apatyam, Homan, the son of Shunaka. Son of Shunaka is Śaunaka. And Shunaka means one who is traveling always. One who is always traveling is Shunaka. So Śaunakaha, who he was? He was mahāśālaha. He was the owner of many, many shalas, industries, and educational institutions, and so many shalas. Vidyashala, Yajñashala, Pakashala, Yandrashala. Many, many shalas are. So he was a mahāśāla. He was not simply a shala. Shala means one who is running a shala. It can be a yantrashala, an industry, or a factory, or a yajñashala, place of sacrifice, or annashala, place of distribution of food items. So many shalas can be there. And vidyashala, educational institution. Here it is that mahāśāla, one who is running many shalas, great shalas. So naturally he must be a wealthy man, a businessman, a wealthy man. And he is a householder, because brahmacharis or vanaprasthas or sannyasis cannot be mahāśālas. So mahāśāla, the term mahāśāla invariably indicates he is a householder. That shows this Upanishad, it is not for sannyasis. Of course, sannyasis can learn and teach Upanishad. It is another matter. And of course, brahmacharis can learn and teach. But it is also for grihasthas. Here the disciple himself is a grihastha. He is an householder. So, mahāśālo'ṅgirasaṁ vidhivad upasannaḥ. He approached upasannaḥ, approached āṅgirasaṁ. How? Vidhivad, following all formalities. That is in the traditional way. With all respect, he approached and prostrated before the Guru. And he showed that eagerness to know. Here it is specifically said vidhivad. In another mantra that is to come, it is said samitpanihi. Samitpanihi gachet. That is a student, a disciple, a jignasu must approach teacher with samit. That is materials for Agnihotra purpose or some offering. Some offering he must carry with you. It is a symbol. Just as the samitha, which is offered in the fire, becomes ashes. Just like that, we have to offer, or we must be ready to offer all our ego before our Guru. And it is to become ashes. That our ego sense, our all our egotism, everything has to become just ashes. So samit panihi. That is the inner meaning. And in the Bhagavad Gita, it is clearly mentioned what is the tradition, how we have to approach the Guru. It is said in the Gita that vidhi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya upadekshyanti te jnanam jnanina tattvadarshina. Tad vidhi, that you realize how pranipatena. Pranipata is prostration. It is not something physical. Physically we can prostrate. We can do namaskar. But it is fullest submission. It is fullest surrender. Because I have gone here and there in search of freedom from all bondages, freedom from all limitations. I approach this man, that man. And I studied many shastras. But I realized in vain they were. They didn't release me from the clutches of ignorance. Even after studying all other shastras, I am still bound. I'm not free. I'm not enjoying the inner bliss. So I realized there is no meaning in going here and there. And finally I reached the real Guru. Then now it is the fullest surrender. It is the highest submission. So with that within, pranipatena, we are doing namaskar. It is not a physical activity. Then pariprashna. Pariprashna is questioning. Questioning. See, we are human beings. Of course, we have many faculties. Faith is there. Faith can be there or faith must be there. But as we are human beings, our greatness lies in the power of reasoning. Power of reason. We are rational beings. The ability to think, the power of reasoning that we have. So we must question everything. We are not such meager creatures to believe, have faith in this and that. Of course, we can have, but that is not the greatness of human being. We have the power to reason. That reasoning power we have. So the world around us is posing many questions with it. What is this? Where from this is? Who is controlling this? And I'm clearly observing the cause-effect phenomenon. So what is the cause of this universe? And I'm seeing a perfect order in this universe. Who is controlling this? Such questions are there. One after another, they will come. So I have to have a clear answer. I must get a clear answer. And that answer must go along with my power of reason. My rational intellect must get satisfied. So this questioning being, I have that ability. Our shastras never ask to believe. No. It is the very basic level. It is the kindergarten of Adhyatmic Shastras, believing. Our Shastras are asking us to reason, do rational thinking, reason again and again. And that is the way, that is the only way to get knowledge. And so we must question. Again and again we can question. Never in our Shastras, Guru asked us to believe what I am saying. What I am teaching is God-given. So you believe this. No, it is foolishness. You have the intellect. You have the reasoning power. You must have a scientific approach. So you question. So approach a guru and you question. Again and again, pariprashna. It is not prashna. It is not prashna. It is pariprashna. Pariprashna is again and again you must question. When you hear from the guru, of course your intellect will work, your reasoning faculty will work, and again question will come. Then again you have to ask. So pariprashna. That is the scientific way. Not that what I am saying is the ultimate reality and you must believe that. No. I am saying what has been transferred to me by my guru. And that lineage that begins from Brahma. But you have your own intellectual capacity. So you ruminate what you have heard. Then you can ask. So pariprashna, it's a great word. Pranipata, pariprashna, and then seva. Seva is serving the Guru, serving the humanity, serving the society. When we serve the society, when we serve the world, our antakarana will become more and more pure. And when our antakarana is pure, then only it will have the capacity to imbibe inner reality. Otherwise, we can go through books. We can have many verbal gymnastics, but the inner heart we won't catch. It is then only, that is, when we have that purity within, then only we will be able to catch the inner sense of the scriptures. So this is the tradition, that is pranipata, pariprashna, and seva. So here vidhivad, observing all formalities, the śaunaka approached Angiras and papraccha asked. He asked. What did he ask? Kasmin bhagavo vijñāte sarvam idaṁ vijñātam bhavati. O Bhagavan, O the knower of everything, the all-knowing one. That's the meaning of Bhagavan. Utpattim pralayam chaiva bhutanam agatim gatim veti vidyam avidyam cha savachyo bhagavaditi. That is one who knows about the beginning of each kalpa. That is how this universal phenomena is manifesting. One who is knowing that. Pralayam chaiva, how it is dissolving. So the manifestation and dissolution of the universe. Bhutanam agatim gatim. Agati is coming and gati is going. So how each and every bhuta, being, is coming into existence and how they are getting dissolved. And veti vidyam avidyam cha. one who knows knowledge and ignorance, both these. A knower of these six he is called, or he must be called, Bhagavan. So, knower of everything. O Bhagavan, kasmin vijñāte, idaṁ sarvam vijñātam bhavati. Knowing what? Everything else will be known. What is that knowledge? If there is such a knowledge, please tell me. If there is no such a knowledge, please tell me. Oh my boy, there is no such a knowledge. Because if you are studying the physical properties of a material, you will not know the chemical properties. And if you are going to chemistry and learn the chemical properties, then you won't know the physical properties. If you are going and studying the English language, you won't know Malayalam. If you are studying Sanskrit, you won't know Japanese. So there is no such a knowledge as you have asked, knowing which everything else will be known. The Guru can teach so. Or if there is such a knowledge, that also Guru must mention. Yes, there is that knowledge, knowing which everything else will be known. Such a knowledge is there. And I am going to teach that. These are the two options before the Guru. But Shishya, the disciple, or the seeker, there are no two options. Straight away he asked, kasmin bhagavo vijñāte sarvam idaṁ vijñātam bhavati. O Bhagavan, what is that knowing which everything will be known? Actually, answer to this question is Vedanta. Vedanta is the answer to this question. I am not speaking about this Mundakopanishad alone. The whole of Vedanta is an answer to this question. Then only the term Vedanta will become meaningful. Because Vedanta means the end of knowledge. The end of knowledge. Yeah, we can take one mantra after another mantra and learn. And we will realize for ourselves how this is Vedanta, how this is the end of knowledge. However, the question is this: kasmin bhagavo vijñāte sarvam idaṁ vijñātam bhavati. O Bhagavan, what is that knowledge, knowing which everything else will be known? This is the question. After asking this question, there is no work for the disciple to do. He sat silently. Then it is now the teacher is starting. See what Angiras is replying? Tasmai sa hovāca dve vidye veditavye iti hasmayat brahmavido vadanti parā caivāparā. We can take the fifth mantra also. tatrāparā ṛgvedo yajurvedaḥ sāmavedo'tharvavedaḥ śikṣā kalpam vyākaranam niruktam chando jyotishamiti. atha parā yaya tadaksharamādhigamyate. See, tasmai sa hovāca dve vidye veditavye idihasmayat brahmavido vadanti parā caivāparā. Tasmai saha ha uvāca. First let us bring tasmai saha ha uvāca dve vidye veditavye iti ha sma yad brahmavidaḥ vadanti parā cha eva aparā cha. This is the fourth mantra. Saha, he, tasmai, unto him, uvāca, spoke, ha, verily, dve vidye veditavye, dve vidye, two knowledges have to be known or are to be known. What are they? Parācha, aparācha. One is parā vidya, the highest knowledge, and the second is aparā vidya. Aparā means not that much high. Or higher knowledge and lower knowledge. Higher knowledge and lower knowledge. Or we can translate parā vidya as the highest vidya, highest knowledge, and aparā not that much highest. That will be the apt translation. But many a times acharyas will translate higher vidya and lower vidya. Instead of doing that, we can give direct translation as na parā aparā. That means not parā. Parā means the highest. So aparā will mean not that much highest. These are the two knowledges. And these are to be known. See, what was the question? Question was, what is that knowledge knowing which everything else will be known? This was the question. So instead of answering it directly, the acharya, the teacher, is drawing a big canvas. He could have answered like this: Atmani vijñāte sarvam idaṁ vijñātam bhavati. If you know the self, everything else will be known. He could have thought so. But he didn't. Instead of giving that direct answer, he is giving a bigger canvas. And he is dividing vidya, knowledge, into two divisions. They are called parā vidya and aparā vidya. Parā means the highest. apara, not that much highest. And see the beauty of the teaching. Śaunaka asked, knowing that, what is that knowledge which will make us all knowing beings? But Angira's answer, while he answered, what he is saying, iti hasmayat brahmavido vadanti, iti brahmavidaḥ vadanti sma. Vadanti sma means said. Vadanti means saying. Vadanti sma means said. It is the past tense. When we are adding sma with the present, it will become past. Brahmavidaḥ vadanti sma. Knowers of Brahman are teaching so. Oh Śaunaka, I am not saying something out of my own imagination. No. What I am saying or what I am teaching is a product of what has been come from the lineage of our teachers. It is the greatness of Sanatana Dharma. There are many aspects, great aspects of Sanatana Dharma. But this is one important aspect among long lineage of teachers. This is not something a man came and declared to the world. This is the knowledge given by the God. And I am selected by the God to teach you. No. This is a teaching which is coming through a lineage of teachers. What I am teaching, that I got from my Guru, and he from his Guru. Then he from his Guru. Like that, this knowledge is coming. Sadashiva Samarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Patyanta. That is the lineage. This is not something which was carried to us by yesterday's right. No. See the teachings of Bhagavan in the Bhagavad Gita. Wherever he is instructing Arjuna, he is repeating what I am teaching is that knowledge which has been given by our acharyas. Rishibhirbahudha Gitam Chandobhirvividhai Prathak. Or wherever he teaches, he would say, Uchyate, Uchyate, Uchyate. This is being said, this is being said, this is being said. He's repeating that. Why? What I am teaching is not something personal. And hearing that, we will inquire what is the source of Bhagavad Gita. Then we will realize it is Upanishad. Because Gita is the summary of Upanishad. It is the gist of Upanishad. So we will go to Upanishad. And there also we are seeing, we are hearing the same thing. Idishushruма purvesham enastatvacha chakshire. We are hearing this from our acharyas who explained all this to us. We cannot say for certain what is the age of Upanishads. Many Western scholars tried, and they are saying the time of Upanishads was before 3000 before Christ, 4000 before Christ, like that. There is no unanimous opinion. Even though they are fighting in between, all are attributing 3000 before, 2000 before Christ, like that. And seeing this sentence, we still have to inquire. If even in the Upanishad it is said, this has been taught by our acharyas, what is the source? Then we will reach the Samhitas. And the first amongst the Samhitas is ṛgvedo Samhita. And even in the first mantra of the ṛgvedo Samhita, which have 10,500 and more mantras within, more than 10,500 mantras. The first mantra itself says, Purvebihi Rishibihi Idyaha. Praised by the rishis of Purva. Then comes a question. When did all this start? The answer is a single word, we do not know. How far this heritage is, we cannot see. That greatness is shown here also. Itihasmayad brahmavido vadanti. Knowers of Brahman, great teachers, they are teaching thus. So what I am speaking unto you is a knowledge that is given to us by the tradition of gurus, the lineage of gurus. It is not something personal. It is not something fabricated by one person. No. Brahmavido. And that I am repeating. What was the age when this Angiras taught this Mundakopanishad to śaunako? We do not know. Thousands and thousands years back. And it is continuing even now. That tradition is going on. Many teachers are teaching this Upanishad worldwide. In the place of one śaunako, there are thousands and thousands of śaunakas. They are studying now this Upanishad. And all the acharyas are repeating the same thing. This was taught by Brahmajnanis, knowers of Brahman. See the greatness? Realize that? So, there are two knowledges. One is parā and the other apara. And we have to know both this knowledge. See, this is the greatest vision. Rishi could have said like this: "Oh man, there are many, many physical sciences, but there is no meaning in them. So you need not go and study these physical sciences. Physics, you need not go and study. Chemistry, you need not go and study because there is no meaning in that. You will not get liberated through such studies. So come to this Vedanta and learn this. This is the only knowledge." The Rishi could have taught so, but didn't. Instead of that, what he is saying, there are two branches of knowledge. One is apara and the other is para. That is, you have to study all the physical sciences. Your knowledge must be harmonious. All the art, all the literature, all the physical science, everything you must learn. Everything you must learn. So apara vidya, you must study. But your knowledge will not be full, will not be complete. Because all the apara vidya, what they are teaching? They are teaching the world around us. The apara vidya is teaching what is seen. It doesn't teach here. Who is he? If I am experiencing this world around me, let it be this world or let it be the world above or below, heaven or hell, this earth, whatever it is, all these are seen, all these are experienced. So the knowledge of the experienced world that we must have. But by that, knowledge will not be complete. We must know who is the experiencer. We must know who is the seer. So the knowledge of the seen and the seer must be combined. Then only knowledge will be complete. So this is the vision. This is the vision. But somehow we lost this vision. And we were behind the seen world. We analyzed many aspects of the seen world. There came biology, there came chemistry, there came physics, and the branches thereof. Many, many branches, again sub branches. Of course, we must know all these. But these are not the whole. These are all put together will make apara vidya. But we must know that. We must become experts in that. Without knowing how we will transcend. To overcome or to transcend, we must know that. Otherwise, how? So, apara vidya, we must know. And along with that, para vidya. Para vidya is the knowledge about the seer who is experiencing this, knowledge about him. That is knowledge about the self. That is the parā. So these two knowledge, veditavye, are to be known. Veditavye are to be known. See, this is the holistic vision of the Rishi. He never says the knowledge of the world is meaningless. No. He never says you must go and learn Atma Vidya alone. No. All the branches of knowledge you must have. You must have perfect knowledge about the seer and the seed. This is the holistic approach. See? Dve vidye veditavye iti hasmayat brahmavido vadanti. Two branches of knowledge or two knowledges are to be known. This is the saying of brahmavidaḥ, knowers of Brahman. And what are they? Parā, caivāparā. One is parā vidya and the other is aparā vidya. Now, the Shruti herself defines what is parā vidya and what is aparā vidya. Let us see that also. tatrāparā ṛgvedo yajurvedaḥ sāmavedo'tharvavedaḥ śikṣā kalpo vyākaranam niruktam chando jyotishamiti atha parā yaya tadaksharam adhigamyate. We will explain this mantra in our next sitting, but just the meaning we can see today. Tatra aparā, tatra, therein, tatra, therein. Aparā, what is aparā vidya? I am explaining what is aparā vidya. Ṛgvedaḥ, yajurvedaḥ, sāmavedaḥ, atharvavedaḥ, śikṣā, kalpaḥ, vyākaranam, niruktam, chandaḥ, jyotisham, iti. This. So all these together constitute aparā vidya. So first four divisions of Veda, Ṛgveda, Yajurveda, Samaveda, and Atharvaveda, the very base of Sanatana Dharma, the very foundation on which all the edifice of Sanatana Dharma is built, that is the Veda. And it is categorized into four, Ṛgvedo, Sama, and Atharva. It belongs to aparā vidya. Then śikṣā, kalpam, vyākaranam, niruktam, chandaḥ, jyotisham, the Vedangas. Shastras with the help of which we can enter into the study of Vedas. We will explain what these are. In our next sitting, we can explain. But now, just understand this much. These are the Shastras with the help of which we can enter into the study of Vedas. All these are parts of aparā vidya. See the greatness of this vision. Just imagine a religion. So far we are not at all discussing about religion, because what we are studying is not something religious. It is not religion. It is not connected with religion. But just imagine, can any religion in the world say this? The very text of, very base of that religion considered as aparā. No. It will be a sin for other religions to consider so. Because all the religions in the world will consider their basic text as parā, greatest. This is the greatest revelation. This is the greatest word. That will be the belief of all religions. But here it is said, even the very base of, very foundation of Sanatana Dharma Veda, it is aparā. It is not the highest. Then what is the highest? The highest knowledge is that knowledge by which you are realizing the aksharam, adhaparāya yatad aksharam adhigamyate. That realization of the immortal, that realization of the imperishable, that alone is paravidya. Paravidya is not connected with any book knowledge. It is not connected with Upanishadic knowledge, book knowledge. But it is the realization of the Supreme. It is the realization of the imperishable. That alone is paravidya. So all the book knowledges are categorized under this heading aparavidya. This is the greatest division of the Upanishad. See? However, we will discuss this mantra in our next sitting. So, if you have any doubt to ask or any question to ask, you can ask. This is the time for question and answer session.
Namaste, Swamiji.
Namaste.
First question is from Sri Arunji.
Namaste, Swamiji. The question is, what is the difference between Chittagasham and Chidagasham? The clarification I look for is Chittagasham, can we say is Chittagasham is totally sthulam? In the similar way, can we say Chidagasham is totally not sthulam? Is I just want
to... I got it.
Yeah, thank you.
See, for the students of our scriptures, this topic, that is the difference between Chittam and Chit, it always poses many questions. It poses many doubts. What is the difference between Chittam and Chit? Here you have asked about Chidagasham and Chittagasham. See, by the term Chit, we mean the highest or the absolute knowledge. Chit is the knowledge absolute. Chittam is a part of our antakarana, internal instrument. Chittam is not knowledge. Neither it is knowledge, nor it is knowledge absolute. It is only a vritti of our internal instrument. Just internal mind, which is a function of our internal instrument. Just like our buddhi, intellect, it is a function of our internal instrument. Chittam also is a function of our antakarana, function of our internal instrument. It is with the help of Chittam we are memorizing. All the memories we are keeping in the Chittam. See, whenever we are doing anything, any work, or whenever we are knowing anything through our senses of knowledge, senses of cognition, or whenever we are thinking with the help of our mind, or whenever we are deciding with the help of our intellect, then itself some inscriptions will be made within the chittam, and these inscriptions are in turn making memory. So chittam is a function of our internal instrument, whereas chit is knowledge absolute. Now coming to your question, chittakasham and chidakasham. Akasham is space. Akasham is space. Or, to be more precise, the meaning of akasham will be that which is providing space. That which is providing space. So chittakasham means that chittam which is functioning as the very substratum for collecting all memories. That is chittakasham. And it is in this chittakasham the reflection of the chit, that is knowledge absolute, is being made. See? And this reflection, we will call it by the name Chidabhasa. Chidabhasa. What is Chidabhasa, or who is Chidabhasa? Chidabhasa is the reflection of the chit made in the chittam. That is Chidabhasa. And chit is knowledge absolute. Then a question may come, if chit is knowledge absolute, how we are joining the word akasha with that? Because akasha is something that gives space. The reply is, in the Upanishads we will not see such terms as chidakasha. But in the explanation of acharyas we will see, because the whole world, the whole universe, all the phenomena we are seeing or we are experiencing, or all the manifestations in these universal phenomena, what is the base of all that? What is the substrat in which all these are existing? The reply is the ultimate or the absolute reality, which we can call Sat, Chit and Ananda. So it is in the Chit, or it is in the Sat, or it is in the Ananda, which is existence absolute, knowledge absolute, and bliss absolute. The whole manifestations are resting. It is just like a superimposition. The whole world, the whole universe is superimposed upon the Chit. And therefore, some acharyas, while explaining Chittam, and Chid. They will say Chidakasha. So for our practical purposes, we need not say Chidakasha, we can say this much, Chid. It is, that is good. But if some acharyas say Chidakasha, we must understand in this way. Because Chid is the very substratum for all manifestations. It is called Akasha, even though it is not Akasha. It is even the cause of Akasha. Tasmadva edasmad atmana akasha sambhutaha. So says the Veda. Even the Akasha manifested from the Chit. So it is not Akasha. But even then, as it is providing space for all other manifestations, it is called Chidakasha. I hope the question is clear.
Thank you, Swami.
Namaste.
Namaste, Swamiji. Regarding the fourth mantra, I posted is Veditavye, but it is Veditavye is the correct form, right? Or is there any Padbheda?
Veditavye.
Is the correct?
Veditavyam is singular. Veditavye is, see, in Samskrita there is Dvivachana. It is Dvivachana. Because there are two, Paravidya and Aparavidya. It is Dvivachana. In the Bahuvachana plural, it will be Veditavyani. Veditavyam, Veditavye, Veditavyani.
Okay.
Here there are two things, Para and Apara. So it is Veditavye.
Okay. Thank you. Namaste. Next question is
Namaste.
Sri Anjali ji.
Namaste, Swamiji.
Namaste.
My question relates to the first prashna of the fourth mantra of Prashnopanishad, wherein it is said that Rishi Pippalada says that Prajapati created a pair. Prajapati created a pair, Rayim cha pranam, and the creation by Prajapati was with the was the creation by Prajapati with the samashti vasana, and can you say that the samashti vasana is the total of the vyashti vasana? I have a little bit of difficulty in understanding this, how he created with the samashti vasana.
Yeah. We can, of course, we can learn this Prashnopanishad. See, there, the answer of Pippalada Maharshi comes to the question. And what was the question? The question was, Kutohava ima prajaha prajayante. This was the question. Kutohava ima prajaha prajayante. From where all these beings are coming into existence. What is that? Kutaha. From where? Imaha prajaha prajayante. All these beings are manifesting. And to that question, Pippalada explains. And in a nutshell, we can say that Prajakamo havai prajapatihi samidhunam asrujata reyim cha pranam cha ityetau me bahudha praja kadishyata iti. Prajapati, he became Prajakamaha. Because when that sankalpa, when that thought comes within, from thought comes activity. First, before the manifestation of anything, in the gross form, it is in the subtle form. And the thought is in the subtle form. And that subtle thought is his prajakamatvam. And with that, he created the mithunam. And what is the mithunam? Reyim cha pranam cha. Rei is matter, prana is energy. So these are two aspects of Prajapati. Rei and prana, matter and energy. And he thought these two will make many creations for me. And we know whatever be the being around us, whether we call them inert or whether we call them living or non-living, all these are consisting of these two parts. One the energy, one the matter. So matter and energy united together will make beings for me. This was the thought. That means matter do not have individuality without energy, or energy do not have individuality without matter. Because they are parts of the same one Prajapati. They do not have individual existence. Matter do not have individual existence, nor energy have that individual existence. Their existences are related in relation to the other. So Reyim cha pranam cha. These two together will make beings for me. And these two together made all the beings in the universe. This is the answer given to the first question, first prashna. Of course, explanations are there. I'm not going to that explanations now. And now comes the question. One, is this Veshti, is this Rei and Prana explained in the first prashna is in the Veshti level or in the Samashti level? This is the question. See, we can take both. Even an organic cell we take. An organic cell. Or an atom you take. We take an atom, a minutest atom. Even there, these two aspects are there. Rei and Prana. There is the material aspect, there is the energy aspect. Both these are staying together. That is the balance. That is the balance of the universe. And from that minutest atom, we go forward to the grossest universe with the trillions and trillions of galaxies, innumerable stars and planets. There also we are seeing the same, the energy aspect and the matter aspect. So here, when we consider the creation of the Prajapati, that is the Rai and Prana, Rai Dravya, matter, and Prana, energy. We need not bifurcate this into the Veshti and Samashti, because whatever are there in the Veshti are there in the Samashti. Whatever are there in the Samashti are in the Veshti. Even an atom, it encompasses the whole of the universe. The nature of both is the same, because the rule governing both these Veshti and Samashti is one and the same. So here, in this aspect, we need not bifurcate into Veshti and Samashti. This Rai and Prana, we can take in both levels. So, which is easy for us in our contemplation, while we discriminate, while we study this Upanishad, which we are feeling as easy. If we are feeling the Veshti aspect easier, then take it. If we are feeling the Samashti aspect more easier, then you take it. There is no problem, because there is no need for dividing this Rai Prana aspect into Veshti and Samashti. That is the answer. Namaste. I think it is clear. If there is something not clear, you can ask again.
No, that is clear. Thank you so much.
Namaste. Namaste.
Next question is Dr. Kamalaji. Please unmute and ask. Please unmute.
Namaste, Swamiji.
Namaste. Namaste.
This is in connection with Prajapati. How will we understand Prajapati and Ishvara? And what made Prajapati, what is the reason for Prajapati's kama?
Yeah. See, when we are calling our father in Sanskrita as Pita, it would mean one who is protecting. And the same father we can call Janaka. When we call Janaka, the meaning will be, it is not one who is protecting, but one who is responsible for my birth. That is the meaning of Janaka. When we say in English, my wife. Wife is wife. What is the meaning of wife? I don't know. How we will explain wife? I don't know. I know this much, wife is wife. But when she is called Jaya, it would mean one who is giving children. When the same wife is called Patni, the meaning is one who is traveling with me. When the same Patni is called Sahadharmini, then the meaning is one who is performing dharma with me. So what is the thing to remember is, even though the meaning is the same, the contextual meaning, that differs. So Ishvara and Prajapati are one and the same. There is no difference at all. Ishvara is Prajapati, Prajapati is Ishvara. But when we call Ishvara, then the meaning is one who is controlling, one who is governing or controlling. That is the meaning of Ishvara. Whereas, when we call the same Ishvara by the name Prajapati, then it would mean the Pati, the Swami, the owner of all the prajas, all beings. And how he is becoming the Prajapati. How Ishvara is becoming Prajapati. It is by Prajakamatvam. And Prajakamatvam is when the thought comes with it to have prajas, to have beings, then Ishvara becomes Prajakama. So this subtle thought to have prajas will make Ishvara Prajakama. And by his Prajakama, he will become Prajapati. See, if somebody is asking a youth, why you are married? The answers may be different. One person may answer and another person may answer in different way, according to their own concept, their own vision of life. They can answer. But see, from the standpoint of dharma, from the standpoint of this system of dharma, if somebody asks why you are getting married, it is not for sensual enjoyments. For sensual enjoyments, one need not get married. There are many other ways. Then for the progeny, for the next generation, and I have to transfer values to the next generation. And by transferring the value system to the next generation, then only this dharma will sustain. So generation after generation doing the same thing, that is sustaining the dharma system. Because values are being transferred from one generation to another. For that I am getting married. This is the answer. If that is the answer, the first aim is to have a son or a daughter. That is child. We can say child. So to have a child, I am getting married. So before getting married, one is having that thought within. I must have a next generation. Then he is going for marriage. Then he will become a vara. This is a mundane example. An example from the world. So Ishvara, when that thought comes, I must have many beings, then he is becoming Prajakama, and from that Prajakama, he is becoming Prajapati. So all these are synonyms. All these are synonyms. Prajapati and Ishvara, they are synonyms. But according to context, there are differences in the meaning. Ishvara is one who is controlling, and Prajapati is the head or owner of all the beings in the universe. And now comes the last question: how this Praja Kamatvam comes to Ishvara? This is the question. See, in the Brahman, the absolute reality, there is no any subtle or gross thoughts or actions. Nothing is there. But when it is manifesting its own innate Shakti, that is Maya, then along with that, Sattva, Rajas and Tamas, all these are getting manifested. And at this point, see, at this point, we are calling Brahman by the name Ishvara. So, the effect of Sattva, Rajas and Tamas, or we can say the effect of Maya, is innate in Ishvara. It is innate in Ishvara. It is there. And when the revolutions, that rotations happens from kalpa to kalpa, in the beginning of each and every kalpa, that thought as a wave, it will come in the Ishvara. And from that, all the manifestations are happening. And at the end of kalpa, all the manifestations will dissolve. So nothing is created. Nothing is created. There is no creation. There is no creator God. Manifestation and dissolution. Manifestation and dissolution. It is happening in cyclical pattern. So in the beginning of each kalpa, this thought manifested and Ishvara becomes Praja. And from that Praja Kamatvam, he becomes Praja. This is the answer. And this is to be explained, that we can do in our later sittings. Now time is over and we can conclude. And we can continue in our next satsang. Namaste. Om Adram Karnebhi Shrunuyama Deva Bhadram Pasye Makshabhiryajatra Sthirairangai Stushtavam Sastanobhir Vyashema Deva Hitam Yadayuhu Swastina Indro Vridhashrava Swastina Kosha Vishwavedaḥ Swastina Starkshyo Arishtanemi Swastina Brihaspati Dadhatu Om Shanti 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 Om Gurur Brahma Gurur Vishnu Gurur Devo Maheshwara Guru Sakshat Param Brahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha.